May 12, 1943. 18,000 feet above Kursk, Soviet Union. Major Günther Rall banks his Messerschmitt Bf 109 G6 hard left, G forces crushing him into his seat as tracer rounds slice through empty air. Below, the steppe spreads endless and brown. Above, 3 Soviet Yak-9s circle like wolves. Rall's breathing stays controlled inside his oxygen mask. His gloved hand moves the stick with precision. This is his 214th kill waiting to happen. The lead Yak commits, diving too steep, too eager. Rall sees the mistake before the Soviet pilot realizes he's made it. He pulls back on the stick, climbs into a vertical spiral that bleeds the enemy's speed advantage. The Gustav's Daimler-Benz engine screams. Metal creaks under stress. At the apex, Rall inverts, rolls, and comes down on the Yak-6 like a falling hammer. His thumb finds the firing button. The cannon erupts. 20-millimeter shells walk up the Yak's fuselage in a precise line. The Soviet fighter shudders violently, trails thick black smoke, and tumbles earthward. Rall doesn't watch it fall. The other two are already turning. He's learned this calculus through blood. Energy management, deflection shooting, situational awareness. 3 years on the Eastern Front have burned these lessons into muscle memory. By now, Rall has survived 621 combat missions, each one a negotiation with death. His crew chief painted 214 small red victory bars on his Gustav's tail rudder. Each represents a moment where physics and violence intersected perfectly. But lately, something has changed. The Soviet pilots are better now, not great, but competent. They fly in formation, they use radios, they don't panic easily, and there are always more. Shoot down 4 in the morning, 6 more appear by afternoon. The mathematics don't favor Germany anymore. Rall's squadron started the year with 18 pilots. Now they have 11. Replacements arrive from training schools with 60 flight hours and wide eyes. Most die within a week. The veterans watch it happen, powerless. Back at the field, Rall climbs from his cockpit as ground crew swarm his Gustav. Oil streaks the cowling, bullet holes perforate the left wing. Oberleutnant Hermann Graf walks over, flight jacket open. Graf has 202 kills. Behind him, Hauptmann Gerhard Barkhorn with 253 victories. They're the 3 highest-scoring pilots in Jagdgeschwader 52. They're also exhausted. Rall sees it in their faces. The weight of flying 4, sometimes 5, missions daily. They're sending us to Romania next week, Graf says, lighting a cigarette. The Americans are bombing Ploiești again. Rall nods. The oil fields. Always the oil fields. Germany runs on petroleum like blood, and the Americans know where to cut. The Luftwaffe bleeds pilots protecting refineries and factories across Europe. The Americans bleed bombers, B-17S, B-24S, but their formations keep coming. Rall has seen gun camera footage from the West, the sky black with bombers. It's warfare that doesn't rely on skill. It relies on numbers. That night, Rall studies reports. Losses versus replacements. Last month, the Luftwaffe lost 1,100 fighters. The training schools graduated 340 pilots. He reads it again, 1,100 lost. 340 graduated. They're losing veterans and replacing them with boys who barely know how to dogfight. By July 1943, Rall has 250 confirmed kills. By November, 270. The numbers climb but mean less. Every veteran knows what's coming. Germany is running out of everything. Fuel, aluminum, time. But mostly men who know how to fight. April 1944. Rall takes shrapnel from a P-47 over Bavaria. The American pilot puts a burst through his canopy. Glass and metal tear into his shoulder. He crash lands in a field, blood soaking his flight suit. 3 months in hospital. When he returns, everything has changed. The Americans fly in daylight now, hundreds of fighters escorting thousands of bombers. The Luftwaffe scrambles everything, Bf-109s, FW-190s, even Me-262 jets. But there aren't enough. There are never enough. Rall flies his last mission in early 1945. By then, he commands a fighter wing, but there's little to command. On May 8th, American troops occupy his airfield. They take him prisoner, not roughly, but with the efficiency of men who've won. An intelligence officer interviews him in a tent. The American wants tactics, aircraft performance, doctrine. Rall answers truthfully. There's no reason not to. Then the captain shows him a document. Training output figures for the USAAF 1944. Rall reads the number, reads it again. That's per month, Major, the American says quietly. 10,000 pilots, every month. Rall looks up. For 3 years, he's outfought nearly 300 enemy pilots. And now he understands it was all arithmetic. Germany graduated maybe 300 monthly. America, 10,000. The war was over before it began. The number sits on the page like a death sentence, written in bureaucratic ink. 10,000. Rall's mind calculates automatically, the same way he calculates deflection angles. In the time it took him to score his first 50 kills, America trained more pilots than the entire Luftwaffe had on the Eastern Front. The captain offers him a cigarette. Rall takes it. His hands don't shake, but something inside him shifts, settles like an aircraft finally acknowledging it's been mortally hit. "We wondered why your pilots kept getting better," Rall says slowly. The American nods. "Attrition. You shot down plenty. But we graduated so many that the ones who survived a few missions, they learned. They got competent. And we kept sending more." Rall thinks of P-51 Mustangs over Berlin, P-47 Thunderbolts over the Ruhr. Young pilots, yes, but not helpless, not panicked. Just competent enough and endless. A tide that never stopped rising, no matter how many you killed. The captain pulls out another document. Training infrastructure. America builds 67 new flight schools between 1941 and 1944, each pumping out hundreds monthly. Rall thinks of Germany's program, squeezed by fuel shortages, compressed by desperation. New pilots got 40 hours if lucky. Some got 20, then thrown into combat against Americans with 200 hours, 300. It wasn't murder. It was mathematics. An equation Germany could never balance, no matter how hard its aces fought or how many victories they scored. "Your kill ratio was impressive," the captain says genuinely. "You, Graf, Barkhorn, incredible. But we could afford losses. Lose 3 to kill one of yours, we still win. Tomorrow, 300 more, the graduate." Rall exhales bad smoke. The mathematics are elegant in their brutality. Germany bet on quality. America bet on quantity. And quantity, applied with industrial precision, has a quality all its own. The assembly line defeated the ace. Production defeated skill. Numbers defeated courage. It was always going to end this way. That night, in the POW compound, Rall lies on his cot staring at canvas. He thinks about every mission, every kill. He thought, they all thought, they were making a difference. That elite pilots could turn the tide. That skill mattered more than numbers, and they did matter. Just not enough. Never enough. You cannot bail out an ocean with a teacup. Germany had teacups. America had the ocean. The outcome was inevitable from the start. They just didn't see it coming until too late. He remembers Hermann Graf drunk after a brutal day. How many do we kill before they stop coming? The question seemed rhetorical. Now Rall knows you can't kill them all. Not when they're training 10,000 monthly. Not when they have fuel, aluminum, instructors, time, distance from the war. Germany fought arithmetic with courage. But arithmetic doesn't care about courage. The numbers were always against them. They just didn't know how badly. The math was written before the first shot was fired. The Americans built an industrial system for pilots, like they built systems for tanks. Standardized training, assembly line efficiency. In Texas, California, Arizona, far from bombs, young men learned in clear skies with unlimited fuel. They made mistakes and survived. They logged hours, practiced, then shipped to Europe, competent enough to be dangerous, not aces, just competent. Thousands arrived monthly. Meanwhile, Germany squeezed training, pushed boys into combat unprepared, lost them, lost instructors too. The program cannibalized itself while America's grew stronger daily. The Americans understood industrial warfare. Logistics beats valor, production beats skill. They could afford losses while students learned. Germany couldn't. Each loss was irreplaceable. Each veteran's death took years of experience. Rall thinks about his 275 kills. How many Americans, maybe 50, doesn't matter. For everyone he shot down, America graduated 100 more. Those 100 faced tired Germans flying patched aircraft on minimal fuel. The kids with 60 hours didn't last. Experience died. Inexperience replaced it. Inexperience died faster. The cycle fed itself endlessly. June 1945. Newspapers arrive. Rall reads about production. 1944. 96,000 American aircraft. Germany, 39,000. Pilot training, 193,000 Americans versus 25,000 Germans between 1941 to 1945. The numbers are obscene. How do you fight that? It's like fighting weather itself. Years later, Rall joins West Germany's Air Force, trains NATO pilots. When asked about being an ace, he tells them about the 10,000, about how skill couldn't overcome industrial production. You cannot dogfight a factory. You cannot shoot down an economy. He tells them about that statistical sheet in May 1945, how one number explained everything, every impossible mission, every funeral for boys who died before 23. Germany asked its aces to hold back an ocean with skill. They tried desperately. The ocean kept rising. The Americans didn't need aces. They needed competent pilots in vast numbers. They built the system, protected it by geography, fed it into war like coal. Germany burned through irreplaceable men and wondered why the enemy kept coming. The answer? Arithmetic. 10,000 versus 300. Every month. In the camp, Rall finishes his cigarette. Other pilots play cards, write letters, wait. Some know their kill counts. Some don't care anymore. How many victories in this compound? Thousands. Enough for record books. It changed nothing. While they scored victories one at a time, America graduated entire classes weekly. That's the lesson learned too late. Wars aren't won by heroes. They're won by logistics, production, mathematics, by training 10,000 monthly while your enemy trains 300. Germany had aces. America had assembly lines. And in the end, the assembly lines won. They always do.